Come on in the room. Bucks losing tonight. 118-106 to the Cleveland Cavaliers. Come on in the room. Doc ain't nobody's doctor. I'm not doing it tonight. I'm not doing it tonight. 8-7. Giannis is out. Giannis injured tonight. Injured his groin. Is what happened to him. 118-106. Bucks lose it tonight. They were on the cot and just didn't have enough. Come on in the room. Talk to you on the Twitter. We'll talk to you on the YouTube as well. Disappointing. It's disappointing. And I think again there's gonna be a lot to talk about today, really just because of how it's one thing to lose a game and you know you lose a basketball game in the beginning of the season. It's not even December yet. You can live with that, but there's something to talk about now that Giannis is going to be out. I'm going to assume for an extended period of time. I don't know. So maybe, and I see somebody saying, "Oh, the overreactions." Maybe it isn't time to overreact. I don't know, but anytime Giannis gets hurt like that, grabbing at his groin, going into the locker room, didn't come back out. Anytime that happens, I start to think, oh wow, that's a problem. That's gonna be at least a week, 2 weeks. It's a week. If it could be a week, I'd jump for joy. But we'll see how this thing goes. 118-106 Bucks lose. Come on in the room. Let's do a game recap tonight. Giannis, only 13 minutes of action before he got hurt. 14, 5, and 4. He was going to have a big night. 6 of 10 from the field. But again, he leaves in the second quarter. Kuzma, 10 points, 5 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 steal, 4 of 12 from the field. Kuzma, a team high, +2 on the night. Miles Turner found his shot. It's lucky he hit a 3. Because, I mean, if Miles Turner, if he's not hitting a 3-point shot, he's doing, I mean, it's literally not, he does literally nothing else on the floor offensively. If he can't hit a pick and pop 3-point shot, there's nothing else he can do on the floor offensively. That's how it's gone we're at game 14, 15 games in. That's what he is right now. Richard, see, that's a stupid ass comment. Didn't you say 4-2 in the next 6? Today, let me tell you something in the chat. Hey, today's not the day to play with me. I'm gonna tell you right. Today's not the day to play with me. I'm just letting you know right now. Today's not the day to play with me. So Richard C, stupid ass comment of the day, number 1. Give you the dumbass comment award. Because Giannis is out. It comes to the next 6. What are we talking about next 6 for? Of course, I ain't, come on, man. What are we talking about? Today's not the day. I'm just telling you. AJ Green, 12 points, 3 boards, 4 assists, 4-10 from the field. Was out there getting snatched left and right. He need to lace up his shoes. He played 40. Wow, I didn't know he played 40 minutes tonight. Damn. 40 minutes getting your ass whooped by Sam Merrill. 40 minutes getting your ass whooped by whenever you had to guard Donovan Mitchell. Lonzo snatching him. Jesus.
Porter.
Ryan Rollins tonight, bright spot, 24, 3 rebounds, 5 assists, 1 steal. He did take 22 shots. He got to get aggressive. He was a +1 tonight. 4 turnovers, a little too much in turnover category. But Ryan Rollins continues to prove that he can play in this league and that he's ready to he's taking that next step. 28 minutes because he was in foul trouble. Cole Anthony, ass. 4 points, 8 assists tonight. 2 of 8 from the field. I just don't know what he's doing. I just don't know what Cole Anthony's doing. It's too much spinning. That was at the end of the third where, you know, we play tough that third quarter. And it just give it up like that. To just give it up like, hey, just giving it up. Throw it away him in a circle. You're just giving it up. Because that doesn't make the things that he does, man, I don't understand. Bobby Porter's 11.6 rebounds tonight. -13. Gary Trent Jr., ass. He hit some shots tonight. I give him that. He played a little bit better in the second half. But defensively, he's all over the place. I told you I was glad when Thomas Bryant threw his ass to the first row. No. That's what he needed. He needed that. Throw your ass to the first row. And you know what? I'm about to go back. Should have left his ass. I knew when he did that mess in Indiana. I knew I shouldn't have forgave his ass. Sorry as hell. Jericho Sims. I thought Jericho Sims played well tonight. On the Cleveland side of things, Donovan Mitchell was just he was dynamic. 37.7 assists, 5 rebounds, 14 and 22, 4 of 8. Best player on the floor by far. Sam Merrill, buck killer. 20 points, 5 rebounds. Everything he shot, didn't miss. 7 and 10 from the field. I mean, a guy can't miss. He's a flamethrower, and you go zone to give him even more open looks. Dumbass Doc. Jared Allen, 12.6 rebounds tonight. Evan Mobley, 14 and 6. DeAndre Hunter, 11 and 5. Dean Wade at 5 points. Ray Porter Jr., 11 points. Lonzo Ball, 6 points, 5 boards, 5 assists. He kind of does a lot out there on the floor when I see Lonzo Ball. Again, man, I guess I will say this. They started off the game like they do. I think, what was it, 11 and 2 to start the game off with the first run. I thought the Bucks starters looked really good. Of course, as soon as Giannis comes out, everything falls off a cliff in the first quarter. And then, I will give the guys credit for battling in the third. I'll give them credit. They hung tough, they played tough, but it's just tough sledding without Giannis to initiate. Things look clunky at times. And this is going to be tough if Giannis is out for any extended period of time here. Charles Posey with Super Chat. He says, if Giannis misses a month or more, it effectively will end the season with this trash roster. We'll be out of the play-in before Christmas. This is bound to happen carrying the whole roster. If he's out a month, it's going to be a big deal. I'm hoping it's not going to be that. Like I said, I'm hoping somewhere between 1 and 3 weeks. If it's a month, we're in some real trouble. Somebody pick up that call. Somebody get a call. I don't know who that is. Somebody get a call on the show. NYC Randy says this one's on Doc. Simple. We're looking at 1 and 9 by the. I disagree with that. NYC. I'm thinking let's on Doc. I don't know how to. I mean, again, did I think Doc did a great job tonight? No, but was the loss on Doc Rivers? I don't think so. I don't think the loss was on Doc. I think that's a little harsh. The loss is because you lost Giannis. The team is centered around Giannis. Again, it is hard to blame. Now, could Doc Rivers have tried different things on Donovan Mitchell? Yes. I thought today was the day we're going to see Andre Jackson Jr. I really did. I really thought Andre Jackson Jr. was going to get in and maybe see if he could slow him down because you had nothing. You had effectively nothing, especially when the first couple possessions of the game, they called the fouls on Ryan Rollins to slow down his effectiveness. That's why he only played 28 minutes tonight. He's using foul trouble. Last thing I'll say before I leave it to you, JT, because again, I'm not really upset at the result tonight. So again, you're gonna hear me. I'm a little more down. I'm not upset at the result. I'm just upset that Giannis is gonna be out. Really, that's really it. I thought tonight. Again, if Giannis plays, I don't know. We probably win that game. I don't know. I'm not gonna say probably win. It would have been a good game. I don't know who would have won. But I thought they played as good as they could play, given the circumstances. No Giannis, and as good as Cleveland is and can be. But the last thing I say is, I thought it was just funny to me. Austin Rivers as the on the cock. As this, and it's interesting the way they do these, the way they have their people set up because you have what's my name, Michael Gray, whoever the play-by-play guy was is sitting courtside like your normal play-by-play people, center court, and then you have 2 people behind the benches, which was Austin Reeves. What's my other man's name? Austin Rivers. What's the other man's name? Craig Hummel.
Robbie Hummel.
I thought it was just interesting setup the way they played off each other. I kind of liked it. I kind of liked the dynamic, but you could definitely tell Austin Rivers was 100% homer, rooting for his dad the whole time, rooting for the Bucks as best as he could, called out the officiating as much as he could, and of course Giannis gets hurt as he's getting slammed to the ground, all kinds of stuff. So it is what it is. Bucks losing tonight, 118-106. Again, we'll talk about some of the things from tonight, but again, bigger picture story. Giannis out with a growing injury as the Bucks lose. That's what I saw. JT, what
do we have an update on? We haven't seen. I keep trying to refresh the feed here to see if any. I mean, I guess you probably won't know till what, tomorrow at the earliest.
Do you want the
update straight from Doc, and then I'll go to the rest of it after you go. He said there's no update. It seems to believe it's a strain growing. He grabbed it in the first quarter, told them they were fine, said he won't have any answers until imaging, and Doc is not 100% convinced it's a strain growing, is what I gathered from the press conference.
Well, let me stop it. What does that mean? He's not 100% convinced it's a strain growing. It's something worse?
I guess
what do you mean by that?
He was alluding to the fact that you'll get a definite once you go through the imaging. It could be something else as well, too.
Something worse? Did you get that?
No, he didn't say worse or better. He just said something else. He was pretty vague with it. So basically no information. Sorry, JT. Go ahead, bro.
Oh, man. Well, strain growing is no joke, right? Like generally, I think generally speaking, like you said, that could be 1 to 3 weeks, or if it's a partial tear in there, that could be 3 to 8 weeks as well. So we're definitely, all of us are kind of keeping our fingers crossed to see what the update is on Giannis, because I don't think our team. I just be honest. I don't think the Bucks are built to be able to sustain without Giannis being there for more than a game or two here and there. And look, we've lost 3 of the last 4. So tonight, things I like. Ryan Rollins, he tried to put this team on his back. He did. We talked about before, when Giannis is out, who puts the team on the back? And I know generally when he's playing, we talk about that second scorer, but who tries to get the – now, did Ryan Rollins take some shots that were – look, again, put a hell of a lot. He went what's my man? Allen Iverson. That is an Allen Iverson number when you talk about the number of shots that Ryan Rollins took. Giannis was cooking tonight before he was out. I mean, you saw what Giannis put up, and did you guys see that that jumper? That jumper over there on the baseline? It was like, the Dirk Nowitzki S is what the announcers call it. Hey, look, if Giannis gets that in his bag again, they said he'd be the best player in the world. I got news for you, he already is, but fine. So I thought Giannis, he looked okay out there, but I think tonight, Cole Anthony, Trey, you touched on it, he looks uncomfortable. I don't know what's happened to Cole Anthony over the last few weeks. We saw some strong performance from earlier in the season. At this point, Miles Turner, Carmelo Anthony hit on that as well, with Miles Turner saying that Miles Turner taking 2 shots in that first half wasn't acceptable. But I'll give him a bit of credit because, again, he gave us a bit more production in that second half, and that's something that we haven't necessarily been able to see from an offensive perspective from Miles Turner, but we did. And yeah, man, this game just to me felt winnable. We let this thing get away from us, I think. Donovan Mitchell, I don't know if the NBA is going to call traveling on him or not. And Donovan Mitchell, boy, he definitely moves. And hey, the last thing I'll say on this one, Trey, I know you hate on Gary Trent, but glad to see Gary Trent show a little bit of fight when Bryant shoved that man out of bounds, right? Or was it or pushing that man out of bounds? I was glad to see Gary Trent get back in his face and stand up for himself.
I lost it. A couple super chats in here. Let's get them. And then I do have one more from Doc Rivers. William Arrange, super chat. He says, this hurts. I'm trying to be optimistic, but let's be real. Growing strains are serious. This roster cannot carry Giannis's workload. And then he says, I hope Adam Silver is happy when you have 7-foot jumping all over Giannis, gets no calls. This was bound to happen. William, you're absolutely 100% correct. It is tough to be optimistic on a night like this. And I agree wholeheartedly that the roster, they can't carry the Giannis workload, especially without KPJ as well in there to help things out. We talked about the calls all year long with Adam Silver, so appreciate your super chat there, William Range. The one more thing that I add, I'm looking on Twitter, Eric Name posting about what Doc Rivers said. He did say, he says, we won't know anything until tomorrow. He said, didn't look great. I can tell you that. And when Doc Rivers says that, because he said something similar, if you remember, about KPJ and the knee, and he said it didn't look good, and he hear torn meniscus. So that's read into it what you want, but I got a feeling this is and I definitely don't like the fact, Justin, that you said it could be something else. Sorry, go ahead, Chris.
Yeah, it sucks. I mean, realizing that this team might be without KPJ and Giannis for a couple more weeks it's a harsh reality because of what we saw tonight. I mean, you look at what the other team was doing, what the Cavs were doing, and realistically, we have this team that's supposed to be a ton of three-point shooters. What did the Cavs do? They made their open shots. What did the Bucks do? They bricked their open shots. Everybody did it. Bobby goes off the side of the backboard. Ryan Rollins has some open shots. Clank. Kyle Kuzma has some open shots. Clank. Gary Trent. AJ Green. Like, that's the difference, guys. That's the difference between winning and losing this basketball game. You're not making open shots. And then the other thing offensively that I absolutely freaking hated was the fact that this Bucks team, when Cleveland is scoring and getting high-quality shots, what do? We throw up dumb two-pointers. When has those ever in the NBA, in this new NBA, have they ever been high-quality shots? They're not. Why is Jericho Sims shooting a push shot from 10 feet out, 15 feet out? Why is Cole Anthony still going to the rim with no plan? Why is Gary Harris still getting run? Like, we saw some bright spots from Gary Harris, but then today he just looked out of place, right? Like, at this point, maybe you guys are right. Maybe you do try Ajax. Because at least I know he can stay in front of Donovan Mitchell for the most part. At least we'll stay in front of him enough to where he will foul him and they won't get a free run to the rim. So, yeah, man, I just think that there's a lot that you could diagnose from tonight, and it was a lot of missed shots, a lot of guys going to the rim with no plan, a lot of stupid one-and-done shots when the other team is scoring at a high level in that second half, and that's why they were able to pull away from the Bucks tonight.
Yeah, man, so I'll continue on with Doc. Doc talked about in the second half the ball stuck, and Cleveland did a lot of switches and stuff like that, and we took a lot of bad shots. Calm down, Trey. There's a silver lining. We will find something or someone. I knew the reaction. We will find something or someone will step up. Meaning we'll find a set to run or something like that. Great thing about tomorrow.
Set to run.
What?
That's why I said calm down before I read it. I knew it was coming.
Yeah.
Let's go to something positive. The Bucks are off for the next 2 days. Tomorrow's a day of service, and they're not going to focus on basketball. They're going to focus on hosting the community. He thought they did a good job on Donovan Mitchell in the beginning, but when Ryan Rollins went out with foul trouble, Donovan kind of went crazy after that, never slowed down. It was a turnover fest tonight. That's what let them back in the game in the beginning. Said our offense created offense for them with bad shots and turnovers. Sims was great. He just has to recognize stuff faster. He was late on everything. I missed the last quote about AJ Green. I'll just say this. From my perspective, I'm not doom and gloom. I saw a lot of good things tonight that these guys, like Cleveland's the best team in the East right now on paper. And they're the best team in the East right now, probably statistically as well. And I think if you have a 34 on that floor, you push that over the hill. So these guys are gonna have to fight. You got to find a way to win some win some ball games. There's no such thing as bad teams are playing anymore, and we just got to compete and get one. I bet you one thing though. You know who's not gonna sit out the next game? Embiid probably had that circled as a rest day. Now that Giannis potentially out, Embiid gonna be there. Paul George gonna be there. That's okay, man. We just gotta compete. Do the best we can do.
Let me ask you guys this question too, right? Because we've dropped 3 of the last 4. A couple of them were ugly. And a handful were certainly winnable. But I guess the question you got to ask now is, we have a game on Thursday, right? Do we have another game on Saturday? Or was the game after that?
Saturday.
All right. So we have who we play on Saturday? We play Philly on Thursday. Who we play on Saturday?
Detroit.
All right. So would you say, as of right now, looking at where the season's gone, we've lost 3 of the last 4. Are one of our next 2 games, do you think, must wins for this team?
I mean, I don't call it. It's hard to call anything a must when we don't have Giannis. I don't know. I mean, you can call it that, but when you don't have your guys, you just got to find wins where you can find them. I don't know that I call it a must win, but you don't have Giannis, so it's hard. I don't know. It's hard for me to think of it like, oh, you must win this game without your best player. I don't know that you just trying to survive. I think you're just trying to survive at this point.
Well, and that's what I'm saying. Like, I say must win in the sense of you want to avoid that quicksand that we talk about. Last year, the Bucks fell in it. They couldn't get out of it for a while. We talked about starting 2-8, and it was just like, man, it was just we were in the depths. We were in the depths, right? The quicksand. We were up to it in our shins, and we eventually got our way out. Right, but you don't want to get up to your knees. Then it gets up to your quads. It gets up to your waist deep. And so I say all that to say that if we can get a win these next 2 games, right? Somebody steps up, somebody gets hot. We believe in what Doc was saying here. In a season that we're gonna have to live week to week if Giannis misses time, do we need to try to get a win to get some momentum here? Do we need these next 2 wins, or can we just drop both and just hope at that point when's our next win coming?
No, I think you hit the nail on the head, man. Not to jump anybody, but you got to get a win, man. Like, you got to find a way to get the ball into the bucket. When I'm talking about seeing positive things in the second half, I'm talking about I saw Ryan Rollins like, hey, dog, I know it's on me, so we're going to live or die by me. You saw Gary Trent Jr. play. He had the worst offensive half of the year in the first half, and he came better and start putting some things together, man. The one thing that I will say, though, that is so frustrating, Miles, you're 6'11". Why are we bringing the ball down to your knees every time you go to the basket? Against a Sam Merrill or Alonzo Ball down there. Keep the ball up high. Shout out to my middle school coach.
Somebody said they called him Moesha.
Man, it's all the wraparound stuff. Bro, you're 6'11". Just first game we saw, Giannis, Miles got the ball on the baseline and he dunked it. Now we're seeing him take the ball down against subpar defenders. There was a time in this year where Giannis was going to miss a few games. It can either be the greatest uprising we've had, or we're going to tread water until we get to this play-in and Giannis will come back and be healthy. I do not think of rushing him back for a NBA Cup game or anything else like that, though.
You know what they call that, Justin? When you get low with the ball like that, they call it getting pregnant with the ball. You can't get pregnant, can't be delivering babies with the ball.
No, for real.
But to your point, you can't miss
Moesha.
It's a difference between you talk about dropping a few games versus having to be without Giannis for an extended period of time. And so to your point though, JT, you're asking, well, you got to get a win, or is this a must win, or what have you? Here's my question to you guys: how do you do that without Giannis? Well, you get a guy get hot here, but like I said, it's got to be more than just that, right? With Doc Rivers, I gotta call a set. No shit, you gotta call a set. You gotta put somebody in position. I don't even know what that means. It's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. But what I'm asking is like, what actually has to happen? What has to change about the mentality of this basketball team to do that, to put forth a winning effort? Because like even tonight, I thought there were periods of winning efforts tonight. But again, the fourth quarter dominance, it just got to be too much. But what do you have to do to get to that level where you put yourself in a position to win the game, knowing you don't have Giannis?
Well, I think it starts with like the fact that you're not winning 50-50 balls. Like that should be rule number one for effort and like a litmus test for how much effort you're giving. The one that Gary Trent Jr. couldn't pick up or whatever that
floor.
was.
Yep.
He is on the floor and he has both hands on the ball, but he's just bending over. Like, bro, like get on the floor for the ball. Get on the floor for the ball. That comes with rebounding as well. Miles Turner had a couple today that I noticed. Bobby Portis did a better job, but it wasn't anything world-beating. It's why I think Jericho Sims, started the second half, because he is one of those guys that provides that kind of effort. And so, yeah, I think I wasn't really noticing it the first, 10 games about, not winning those possessions. But tonight it was ever so clear that the want to is not there either.
It's funny seeing Charles Posini says who's ready to see Giannis thrive at Wemby. Wemby again. I mean, I told him he's 7'4". He's body
hurt too.
His body can't hold up. Right, his body ain't gonna hold up either.
Nah.
Your body, you're not meant, pause, to be that long. You're just not. You're not. Your body's not meant to be that long, and you're not meant to take a pounding pause on every single night when you run up and down the floor at 7'5" or whatever you. It's not, again, great player. I hate to say it. It's just, and I hope that he does win a chance. I hope that he gets to be whatever he gets to be at some point. I'm not gonna say he's not gonna have a long career. He's going to battle injury all throughout his career. Wemby will, no question about it. It's just he's too big. Pause. A little too big.
Hey, yo. Taking
They can't copy that boy.
Wow.
Yeah, you're gonna need to see a lot of somebody got to step up though. We need to see Gary Trent Jr. before he pissed Trey off tremendously in the Indiana series. You're gonna have to see Bobby get more buckets. And what I saw, and I know it's garbage time, but what I saw was that we need to see a little bit more Pete Nance. He showed some bright spots and stuff like that. Let's see if he can do it against a serviceable team versus the guys that are just in there to be in there. I mean, for these next few games until we get a determination on what Giannis has until he comes back, why not let Pete hoop? You said it earlier. Why not Andre Jackson Jr. hoop? You might be able to uncover something. And then if you uncover something and these dudes learn how to win, oh, baby, we cooking with gas when Giannis comes back. And maybe Pete's a guy that can get some buckets off the bench.
IO says, how do you coach the LA Clippers Lob City but can't get Miles Sims or Kuz 1F and alley-oop? But here's the other issue. They can barely throw an entry pass. And you talking about throwing out, I'm not joking. They can barely throw an entry pass. And we talking about alley-oops. But to your point, you're talking about guys stepping up. This is where Doc Rivers, to me, has got to earn his money. Like, I'm not going to say it's easy coaching Giannis in this group. I'm not going to say that. I think it is hard to do to get it to where you want it to be and to get a championship team and to put a championship roster together and have it all work out. But this is where you got to show me what a head coach is about. You've got to figure this thing out, put guys in position. You got to dial up the right rotation, the right numbers, because now your safety valve, which they always get to use of Giannis, is no longer there. And again, I know what Ryan Rollins is going to provide for the most part. And I think that's probably the most disappointing thing about this basketball team is, for the most part, I know what Ryan Rollins is going to provide. Everybody's a wild card every single night. I have no clue. Am I going to get a Kuzma that's going to finish around the rim, play hard on his defense? Or am I going to get a Kuzma that Jackson shots that can't hit anything? Am I going to get a Gary Trent Jr. That's going to play defense and shoot the ball well? Or am I going to get a guy who gives me nothing? Am I get a Bobby Portis who's not going to be black hole Bobby? I'm going to get a Bobby Portis who hits shots and tries to defend and moves his feet. I just don't have the answers to those questions. And again, to me, Doc Rivers has got to find it. He's got to find it with this group. He's got to put people in position. Like, I look at the Cleveland Cavaliers. Look at the concerted effort they did to get Sam Merrill the ball and hitting three. I mean, they were constantly all night. Look for him all night long. They're trying to get him a shot. And again, I think the Bucks did a better job in the second half, but they're constantly looking for shots for him. Sam Merrill took 10 shots. Now, I guess Adrian took 10. It just doesn't feel the same where they're always looking. And again, if Adrian's going to be a guy that can't really do anything off the dribble, to prove his worth out there, you got to be able to give him the basketball. You got to be able to put him in positions where he's getting open looks. I believe I saw a stat where he's like top 2, top 3 in the league, corner three percentage, just some kind of, maybe it's an advanced stat, something like that. Well, damn it, I need him to take more corner threes then. You've got to figure that thing out. And again, that to me is on Doc Rivers.
Sam was 5 of 6 in the second half from the 3-point line, by the way. Go ahead. That's all I want to add.
No, I was going to say getting guys in position to do what they do best is one thing, but I think effort and all else is another. And I think this challenge is twofold, right? Because you do have a challenge of, all right, well, how do you scheme up or how do you get guys in position to do what they do best? But then again, there's consistency, night in and night out. And then when Chris talked about it earlier, are guys hustling for loose basketballs? Are guys really going after this thing? Are guys rebounding or what? Yeah, I had a tightrope there, Chris, but that's the thing. How do you get that effort some of this is on Doc, but all of it is not. And Trey, you hit the nail on the head. You don't know what you're going to get from these guys night in and night out. There's a lot of guys out there. There's far too many guys in this Bucks team who are out there comfortable being just a guy. Literally out there just doing cardio, running back and forth, right? YMCA, free throw line to free throw line. And that's a problem. Now you don't have Giannis covering that up. Now you can't hide, right? Everybody's exposed at this point. You don't have Giannis out there to cover it up. No, this team is going to have to work together. What I always say, in the aggregate. Now is aggregate time for real, especially if Giannis is out. Still, I may be the only person that's still optimistic on Miles Turner, but, look, hey, whatever you're holding back, you got to unleash it. Because I do think that if Giannis is out, you are going to need offensive production from Miles Turner. There's no question about that. And you're going to need a lot more than what you've seen if Giannis is out, especially for an extended period of time. And again, like Trey said, your role players, Gary Trent, I'm going to need you to be doing what we brought you back to do. I'm going to need to see more of that, more Gary Trent from the end of last season than I've seen this season. Derek Burke, hey, I'm going to need you to be out there at impact. That's what you're going to do. Skip, corner three, okay, fine. Let's see that. Kuzma. And look, Kuzma's given us a lot more good than bad this year. He certainly has. He's not been crazy Kuz or reckless Kuz or whatever he was in previous years because he was with the Wizards and they stink. And, quite honestly, it's just they do whatever you can with that team. And Bobby, look, if Giannis is out, Bobby's got a chance. Bobby's got a chance to really kind of right the ship and the narrative on him from what we've seen this year, too. There's a lot of guys who have a lot of opportunities, but the question is, are they going to take advantage of them or are they just going to keep doing what they've been doing at this point?
Well, and to your point, too, like, they're going to have to step up because the tape is now out on Ryan Rollins. Like, I saw a ton of double teaming, hedging the screens on Ryan Rollins, and that forced him into a lot of bad spots. It forced him into a lot of turnovers, and for him to still be able to have a pretty good game with that, with all that being said and all this pressure on him, like, somebody else has to step up. You can't waste good games from a point guard like that. And he's going to have to learn how to avoid these double teams, how to get the ball to guys he trusts. And that has to be on the team to trust him. I remember one point in the game where it's like, I text a group chat. I'm like, our bench just sucks. Like, it's hard to do anything when the bench can't hit shots. And, the tape is now out on pretty much our only good point guard to this point. And so it's going to be on some adjusting that Doc needs to make and the players in terms of just being good players and making shots.
So the way I look at it, you got a lot of guys on 1-year deals. Do you want life-changing money or not? Because with Giannis here, we know the focus is going to be on Giannis. You got Cole Anthony, 1-year deal. Gary Trent Jr., 1-year deal. Who else am I forgetting?
More too. He hasn't played, but he's on a
1 year. So you got to come out and you got to earn this money and get yourself there. And then Miles, like, the biggest way you can shut everybody up is hooping. And right now, man, like, best thing in the world is just roll the ball out there in Philadelphia or at home against Philly. Let's see what happens. I think a lot of these role players will play better Thursday night because we back at the crib. But you gotta, like, these dudes just gotta play better. And JT, you hit the nail on the head when you said Bobby has to play better. Absolutely. You want to be sixth man of the year. You want to be this guy. You want to be mayor of Milwaukee. Show all your doubters. And I know we're never going to get it from you on the defensive end, but the biggest thing is Cole Anthony got to stop turning over the basketball. You cannot turn over the ball as much as he's doing. You damn near handing it to the team and letting them go. The thing I want to say about Sam Merrill, I thought he's really manifested his career into a great thing. But I saw the shit in the chat about, John Horst let Sam Merrill go. No one cried a tear when he left. He was Elijah Bryant. He was Jeff. He was the rest of them when he went. Sam's found a way. I would love to have Sam. That's what we expect AJ Green to be, what Sam Merrill is. Sam don't give you a lot defensively. He makes his open shots, and that's what he does. But, hey, look, man, we got to just find a way, back to JT's original point, to win one basketball game, get down on his headwind a little bit, and just kind of find a way to bond. And, hey, man, maybe Giannis stuff is only a week and a half, too. But don't rush it back. That's all I'm going to say. Do not rush it back.
Derek Clayton with the super chat. He says, there's a world where this works. Get a top 5 picks. Here we go. Talking about picks. If it comes to that, make moves this offseason. Come back reloaded next year. Pels suck. So their pick should be top 5 as well. I don't know the protections on whatever pick we're talking about for New Orleans. But I asked you, Daryl, I asked you back there. Were you asking about, what this looks like? Top 5 pick. I'm assuming that means you don't have like. What are you? I assume if you're picking that early, that Giannis is gone. That's what I'm assuming. If this thing doesn't work out, now again, he found a way to. He found a way to play for Greece, and somehow ends up being hurt here. But that's neither here nor there. I won't belabor that topic tonight. But you said something, Justin, that I think is important. And those are the two things this team has to do without Giannis in the aggregate, as JT would say. They have to do these two things. One, you cannot turn the ball over. The turnovers are too much. And again, I get it. You got guys playing out of position. Ryan Rollins really not a point guard. Got him playing out of position. He's got to figure that thing out. The turnovers are killer every single night. And then two, the defense. This team has got to play so much better. And so, like that first 5-6 minutes of the game, that's what you need. But you got to do it for a full 48. You got to be able to figure that thing out. And Miles Turner's got to take it upon himself to anchor that defense. I will say, and again, maybe this is because I'm assuming it's because Giannis is out. Miles Turner does have a quicker trigger when Giannis is out. Like I felt like he was, he's not looking. Oh, let me get to Giannis or let me pass. Like you got to pull, and guys got to. Like I said, I'm not saying you have to have the Cole Anthony thought process, but Giannis is not there to save you. You got to be playing without thinking. You cannot think. Okay, let me make sure we get a shot to Giannis. Like, if it's there, you got to go. And I did appreciate that about Miles Turner. I thought in the second half was much quicker to pull when he was open. And again, same thing, Rollins. I thought, again, he's got to get under control in his drives as well. But I thought he did a really, really good job there without Giannis. Again, I thought the third quarter, what did we finish? I wonder what we finished in the third, what it looked like. The third we got outscored by 2. So again, the fourth quarter, the rails kind of wheels kind of fell off, but in the third we were 33-31 to the Cavs. That will play, and again, the Cavs are a really good basketball team, but you got a lot of this coming up, and again, I think it starts defensively is where it starts, and again, I just look at like a team like Charlotte who found ways to muck up a game when they are not as talented as the Milwaukee Bucks or not as talented as the teams they're playing against. They find ways to muck the game up. So the Bucks have to do that with deflections, with steals, with some of those hustle plays. That's what the Bucks are going to have to be able to find. And again, like tonight, Hornets lost 110-108 to a Raptors team that is another team that is much more impressive than they are. But they find ways to keep themselves in games. And that's all it's got to be for the Milwaukee Bucks. That's what I'm looking for on Thursday night against the 76ers. You need to be in it. Like tonight, the issue was by 5-6 minutes left in the game, Cleveland was pulling away. The Bucks need to be in this game. It needs to be close to the 76ers. Whether you win or lose, I'm not even going to go there, but you got to keep yourself in the fight 100%. And you do that by mucking up the game. You do that by hitting shots. You do that by taking care of the basketball.
Don't forget in that third quarter, it was like a 2-point game until the end, to the last few seconds where we had a terrible basketball turnover again. Like, that's what it always alludes to with this ball handling. And we can talk about how Ryan Rollins isn't a point guard, and I completely agree with that. But Cole Anthony's a point guard. You got to handle the ball better. You just have to. And I don't want to come downhill on Cole and feel like this loss is all on him. But, hey, Cleveland is a phenomenal team. And matter of fact, they're without Darius Garland. And you see those guys that filled in his spot, they just kind of came and they played good basketball, man. And we got to get our guys to step up too. I mean, hey, all you got to do is get to January 1 and be somewhere in the hunt, and let's go from there. Kind of like what you were talking about, Trey. Just tread water, basically, and then get to a point where you can swim again, and let's go Michael Phelps the race after that.
And there are certainly like recipes to winning most of these basketball games, right? Like I don't think that now, obviously looking ahead with the future of, Giannis in jeopardy in the next couple months or in the next couple weeks, and KPJ still being up in the air. I just think that you haven't done the best of your ability to kind of close games out. If we remember the Houston game, that one very winnable. If we remember, even tonight, like there's just been games that have slipped away too that kind of make me a little less optimistic about how this team will fare now without Giannis and without KPJ together. That's why I would be a little concerned about how this thing's going to go, because we've already had opportunities to have a better record at this point and we haven't done it, haven't been able to close.
JT worse in the comments.
Hey,
Worse than the comments.
Hey, man. You know what? It just popped up on the timeline. I figured I'd share that with you. But I guess, one question I do want to ask you guys is, out of what we've seen here, I'm assuming right now, I'm not going to take a position on it. I'm just going to say, we don't know. We're going to wait to hear back from Giannis. I'm cautiously optimistic. My optimism is not rooted in anything more than fanhood and just hope. So I have no inside information or nothing. I'm just cautiously optimistic that maybe we get out of this. Maybe it's just a month. Maybe it's a little bit less than a month, right? That's the 1 to 3 weeks. Fingers crossed for that. But I guess the question that I really want to ask you guys here, and what really troubles me at this point, is outside of Ryan Rollins, and I'm going to say you can rely to an extent on Ryan Rollins. Trey said you can rely on Andre Jackson Jr., at least defensively.
I ain't say you rely on him. I ain't say nothing about relying on Andre Jackson Jr.
You know what you're going to get out of Andre Jackson Jr. defensively, or you know what you should get from Andre Jackson Jr. But I guess the question is, out of everybody we've seen play this year, not named Ryan Rollins, is there a single player on that team that, based on this year's performance, that we feel like we can rely on? Outside of Giannis and KPJ, but talking about everybody, out of everybody who's available to play right now, is there a single player on that team outside of Ryan Rollins that you guys think we can actually rely on at this point based on their performance?
Nope.
I really want to say Miles, but
hell no.
He got it. Like,
rely on him to build them Legos.
Oh my God. JT, I'm gonna agree with you, man. I'm gonna
rely on that fridge door getting shut.
I'm gonna be cautiously optimistic on this injury as well. I take you down story time lane. I drove 6 hours to Atlanta, Georgia, to watch the Bucks in the Eastern Conference Finals. Was with my little brothers and my little sister. They said, "Oh man, Trae Young is out." I was like, "I'm definitely going to the game tonight because we're gonna win." Guy tears up his knee. I bought a ticket in the highest section you could buy it in, just getting the door price, and then I waited for the prices to drop. Bought one about 4 rows behind the Bucks bench, and that's where I saw Giannis helped off the floor. And to my surprise, a week and a half later, this superhuman of a man came back and willed us to an NBA championship. I know the stakes aren't the same right now, but I'm just going to hope and pray that Giannis, it is something, I don't know, like dude said in the chat, pause, tore his balls or something like that. He got to sit off from Mariah, or like JT says, he out there with his brothers in the summer going crazy in the Milwaukee summers. So we're going to hope he got to pause from all the activities, and he'll be back, I don't know, Saturday against the Pistons and putting 45 up on them, man, until I hear him definitely out.
I guarantee you he ain't back Saturday against the Pistons.
I think just to answer your question though, real quick about who can we rely on, I think there's good points being made in the chat where it's like, okay, you should be able to rely on these guys, right? They've showed consistent stretches throughout their careers and especially careers with Milwaukee that they can play good hoop for weeks on end. But the issue is that we're not seeing that right now, and we're 15 games into the season. So that's where it gets a little concerning. But I will say, like, I wouldn't be surprised if they're able to knock down more shots, play a little better defense, but just be I mean, the team is going to have to be better offensively for sure. The defense is it's not necessarily a lost cause, but it needs a lot more work than the offense does. The offense kind of boils down to missing shots. But if they're able to start putting up points consistently, shoot the ball at a higher clip, then I wouldn't be surprised if we sneak out a couple wins, even without some of the guys that would be missing games. There's my optimism. That's my last optimism.
Yeah, well, again, that's what you want to see. And usually, like I said, I'm usually pretty optimistic on here, but it's just my issue is it'll be different if you got a bench that was better. They just give up. They just give up they leave so much to be desired on the floor. And again, you don't have KPJ, and now you're out Giannis. I just struggle to find where the creativity comes from when Ryan Rollins is on the floor. Again, I just don't see them do anything. I don't see what they do. Like Miles Turner, like he can dribble. I tell you, I didn't know that I promise I did not know that he was as bad offensively as he was. hell, maybe Tyrese Halliburton better not think he is, because I thought Miles was better than this. I'm not gonna lie to you. I didn't know right now the only thing we see from Miles Turner offensively that he can do is pick and pop and hit a stand-up three-point shot. Because he can't rebound. So it's not like he can grab you a board off the offensive rebound and give you a putback. So he can't do that. He's not rim running, hitting lobs. I remember he used to be able to get this nice 15, 16 footer off right above the free throw line, and it was money. He used to kill us with that little shot. And he don't even shoot that no more. So I'm sorry. I'm losing a little bit of optimism. My point, they got to show it to me. They got to show it to me. So I can't wait to see it on Thursday night, but you got to show it to me. Derek Clayton Super Chat says, I don't mean to trade Giannis, but if he's out 6 to 8, I'm saying weeks without KPJ, I don't know. Maybe say 6 to 8 games. Without KPJ, I don't know how they win. It's gonna be tough sledding.
When KPJ come back? We a week and a half in, right?
Maybe longer.
A couple weeks.
I feel like we're longer than that.
Seems like 2.
Oh.
I'd probably stop it at a hard 2 weeks.
Okay.
Has anybody seen an update? Has he been running, cleared, conditioning? Is any of that could be an issue? I'm imagining there's gonna be a ramp up or something. Like, does anybody know?
They haven't said a thing, I don't believe.
Yeah, I haven't seen a whole lot of updates on that either. I mean, there's a difference between being cleared and then actually being ready to play and being in game shape. So my expectations when we see KPJ return are a bit tempered. Just because, you're coming out, you miss some time. I'm imagining conditioning to an extent will be an issue. I know there's a lot of stuff you can do. Y'all been hurt. Y'all seen that underwater treadmill that you can run on, whatever, to kind of get you, to at least get in shape. But yeah, I'm expecting KPJ to have a bit of a ramp up period for 2, which is perfectly reasonable for a few weeks as well when he returns.
Yeah, I think it looked like what's today's date?
November 17th.
17th.
Yeah, so I think I'm trying to see when he actually had his surgery.
When that around the first?
Trey, while you looking that up, I just want to
to
welcome all the Indiana Pacers fans to the chat to tell us that we told you so and all the other stuff they're gonna try to hit us with. It may not come now, but it'll come later on in the comments. We see you.
Aren't they like 1-13?
Yeah, but they're going to say that we overpaid for Miles. He's a terrible offensive player, blah, blah, blah. You weren't saying that when he's helping you beat the Bucks 2 years in a row in the playoffs.
So he has surgery on November the 3rd. So it was 4 weeks from the 3rd. So yeah, it's been exactly 2 weeks since he had surgery. So yeah, I would expect, I would think that by next week we should at least get an update on where he is. If we're thinking he's maybe a week away from getting ready to go. And again, at the end of the day, the Bucks are they've got to find wins, to your point. And that was, I didn't think tonight was going to be a win for the Bucks when I was predicting them to go in 4-2.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, this is, you're going to have, because I was really banking on those money on the wood games as being two wins. The Bucks doing in the cup, but now Giannis going to be out for both of those. But yeah, they're going to have to. You look at 76ers, Pistons, Blazers. Pistons will play some lights out basketball too. I think, to your point, Johnson, now you were asking, where do you find? I think, to me, like the Blazers, you got to, like, that's one, to me, when I think about must wins coming up, JT, I'm thinking of like the games against okay teams and against teams you can beat. You gotta have those.
That's
like so when I look at 76, now I don't know if I don't know how good they are. I know when Embiid plays, I don't even think he plays a full low. I think he only plays like 20 minutes at a time. So it's not like he's like playing a full his regular number of minutes when he does play. I don't know when they last played. So I don't know if Embiid's gonna play. If he doesn't play, that's the game you got to win that game. Pistons gonna be tough. Blazers, again, I know they've been playing much better than what they have been in the past, you got to win that game. So again, I'm looking at, so if you want me to take you serious as a basketball team, I need 2 of the next 3. You got 76ers, Pistons, Blazers. I need 2 of the next 3. And then you got then you have Heat Knicks on NBA Cup nights. I need one of those 2. Like, so when you talk about JT, what do you need and must win? It's just finding a way to play 500 ball. You got to be somewhere. You got to find a way to play somewhere around 500 basketball until Giannis gets back. Because then, like I said, you play. If you can do that, if you can go 2 out of the next 3, and then you can split Heat Knicks, then you got Nets Wizards on the 29th and the 1st. You got to win both of those games. With no Giannis, you got those are games that you have to. We talk about, so if you want must wins, Nets, Wizards, you got to beat those teams. Those are the ones you got to have, and you have to, like you said, you got to tread water till Giannis gets back.
And that's my whole point. That's why somebody was like, somebody in chat was like, "Oh, must wins. That doesn't come till March." What are you talking about? That's not. No, we're talking about must wins from the sense of trying to save your season, trying to not get into the quicksand where you've lost, or you won 5 out of your last 20, and now it's like, yeah, it's a wrap for them, and you can tell that the players have pretty much given up and mailed it in, and Giannis isn't returning it. I agree with you, Trey. Treading water is important. We have to get to a point where we're treading water, but in order to get to the point where we're treading water, we're going to see a hell of a lot. We're going to see some Herculean efforts from multiple guys. We're going to need these guys are going to lock in, and we're going to have to start seeing some consistency, because I just don't want this to be a situation where, and again, we're speculating here. Let's say Giannis is out a few months. You don't want it to be a situation where it's not really worth him coming back for, right? Or there's just tension or anything. And I know that sounds silly. People are like, oh, he has a contract, he's getting paid. Okay. Well, yeah, you watch how this thing goes when it recovery and coming back. If this team, wins 10 out of 30 games, if he has to like that, that's not a spot that you want to be in. And hopefully we'll figure this thing out. But I am interested in what the lineups will look like if Giannis does have to miss time when KPJ comes back.
Kuz got to go crazy.
Go crazy?
Kuz got to go crazy. He got to be the dude that we saw with 29 and 15. If you can get plus 20 from Kuz and 7 to 8 rebounds, I think we'll be in a good shape to win a lot of basketball games. He got to play above his card now. We can't just kind of get back in that moderate, like, oh, I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that. The one thing that I'll say, though, we talk a lot about shot creation and stuff like that. We saw a lot of good things from Kuz this year with this point forward position. And that's what we're going to need. Not just you getting your own shot, but you continuing to create other shots from other guys. And I thought Rollins did a good job of getting Jericho Sims' one. Was that his only bucket of the game? But we're going to need a lot of that, too. You got to keep your head up on the swivel and just play basketball, man. I really think we're going to be all right, man.
And one more thing, to your point, and I know chat said, oh, we're lucky to get 2 out of 3, 2 out of 13. Again, I know we like to use it as an excuse. 76ers play Wednesday night against the Raptors. So there's one. When you talk about can you get one, you're going to get on 2 days rest, you're going to get the 76ers on a back-to-back. Just putting that out there that you have that maybe that's a reason why that's a little bit better of an opportunity than you may normally have in a situation like that. So. And
don't forget, you got a lot of load management games from other teams too coming as well. So when they load manage, we got to execute those wins. If Cade Cunningham and whoever sits down for Detroit, hypothetically, you got to beat them boys. You can't wait.
Yeah, and John, again, I correct me if I'm wrong. Who did the Bucks beat without Giannis this year?
Golden State.
Was Golden State?
Golden State.
I guess I don't get this whole. There's not a chance. I think every fan base does that, and like I don't know. I don't know that. I don't know that. I just don't know that's true. I just don't know that's true. James Moore says these players just don't seem to care and are tuning Glenn out. Like what evidence? Okay, back that up. What evidence do you have that they are tuning the coach out? Now, again, they may not be doing what they're supposed to do. They may not be playing well, But I don't see it. To me, I don't see a team that like is tuning anybody out. Because if they tune, here's my thing: if they didn't care, then the third quarter they would have gave. As soon as y'all was out, they'd have gave up. I thought they. I mean, again, there are issues and deficiencies that they have. I thought that they did as good of a job as they could do, especially that third quarter. I think the fourth was just a little bit much for them with the way Donovan Mitchell was playing. But yeah, and then so Matt, what's the likely we beat the Warriors? Yeah, so let's not play anymore. Let's not play. Let's not play. What's the again? Everything again. The Bucks are the worst team in the NBA. So what are y'all talking about, man?
Forget not playing.
Yeah, just not, what are we playing for? Why play?
Move the team to Seattle. Tear the Pfizer Forum down. Like y'all, like they want to talk about this delusional stuff and all that stuff. Y'all some bums.
The Blazers just lost to the Mavericks tonight. I get it. I'm just like I think sometimes people forget that like the NBA is like a lot of just random things happen. And yeah, that's not. There was a second ago. Oh, that was last night. The Blazers lost. But there wasn't that long. The Nuggets are down 10 to the Bulls right now. Bulls are on a 10, have lost like 6 games in a row. How does that happen? The Clippers aren't very good. 76ers just won by 2 points over the Clippers. How's that? The Raptors, who are much better than the Hornets, they just won by 2 points over the Hornets. You said we were struggling with the Hornets and we lost to them without the Raptors. I don't think anybody was out for the Raptors tonight. Was anybody out for Toronto tonight? They just lost. They won by 2 against Charlotte. So again, the NBA things happen every single night.
Hornets beat us by, well, I know the game finished 10, but they beat us by 20 without Miller and LaMelo Ball. Like, hey man, if you
and I'm sure if Maddie and James and others, if y'all were fans of the Hornets, you'd be like, we'll never win another game. That's what you'd be saying, right? That we can't beat anybody. We'll never 2 of 10. We'll never win. That's what you'd be saying right now. And they won. That's how the NBA goes.
And if they were Pacers fans last year before them boys got healthy and went on their run, they would have threw in the towel before that, man. Like, hey, look, I'm not going to tell anybody how to fan. If that's how you root for the Bucks, everything's negative. This guy sucks. That guy sucks. Doc can't coach. John Horst can't GM. Peter Fagan's a terrible president of basketball operations. And by the way, while you at it, just fire Mark Antanasio just for shits and giggles. I don't do it like that. Like, I think these dudes are all NBA players. And you know what? I saw a lot from Gary Trent Jr. last year. Cole Anthony, you got something to prove, so prove it. JT, I'm going to correct you on one thing. You said performances, plural. Chris King, we saw a performance in Toronto. That's all we saw for Cole Anthony. But I hear you, brother. He got a hoop, man. Like, Cole Anthony's a lottery pick. Show us why you are one. Miles Turner, you hear people calling you soft. You got dudes in our chat calling you, what they call him, Trey? Moesha? Is that what they call it, boy?
Yeah.
Stop pirouetting out there. Stop Caleb Williams it. Stop ballerina toesing it. Slam dunk the basketball. Go baseline, grow a set of nuts, no pause, and dunk on somebody. You see 34 do it all the time with no goddamn growing. The hell we talking about?
Y'all killing me with this growing. Y'all turning boys, man, with the growings. Like GROW.
Them too.
Well, that's the only thing. Like I said, that's what's in there saying, it's being a realist, but it's not a realist. Like they're never going to win another game, and that's what you guys sound like. So again, like I said, I don't know how the Bulls Nuggets is going to finish, but if you were Nuggets fans, you'd be telling us, they're down 10. You'd be telling us oh my God, the earth is shattering, and the Nuggets will never win another game, and Jokic send him to wherever the hell he's from. And that's it. So that's just, it is what it is. And like I said, it's much easier to see the glass half empty versus seeing it half full. Anything else? Like I said, I really didn't have a lot of analysis. Like, I'll tell you, the way I watched this game, when Giannis went out, somebody said in the chat that, it was a lot less stressful once Giannis went out. It really was. As I was watching, I was watching, but I was a little bit depressed as I was watching that game, because I was just like, damn, like, this is not happening. And I thought, okay, maybe Giannis will come back after halftime. He doesn't. And yeah, it really did. I don't want to say it didn't ruin the viewing experience for me because I didn't live and die with every shot. But what it did do was I definitely lost a little focus, So from I was watching it, but in the back of my head, I was just like, damn, this is tough. Need the update. So again, I apologize for not being locked in to everything that took place after this one. From a real analytical standpoint, just kind of watching, seeing what happened with the Bucks, and but on Thursday night, I'll be back locked in to see us. You know what? I'm a guarantee a win against the Philadelphia 76ers. That's how you guys got me feeling. I'm a guarantee a victory over the Philadelphia 76ers on Thursday night. So you join us right back here at the Cream City crossover once that happens. But anybody else, anything else on this game before we get to Twitter and start moving through to get through to finish the show?
Post that FanDuel receipt when you do it, because I'm with you. I got 20 on the wood on the Bucks too. Let's go.
There you go.
I can't get to Thursday without getting to Tuesday, and what I mean by that is we need to see what's going on with Giannis. I need to see what's going on with Giannis before I have a feeling. I'm like all of y'all. I'm holding my breath to see. We need to see what's going on with Giannis because I'm an optimist. You guys know that, but unfortunately, that is going to certainly impact my outlook depending on what's the Giannis news. So, fingers crossed, guys. If y'all want to put a bet on this. Y'all want to put a bet on the time frames? You saying 1 to 3 weeks? What you got? 1 to 3 weeks? What you got, Justin? 4 to 6? 3 to 8?
Back for the next NBA Cup game.
That's
whatever it is.
Next NBA Cup game for the Bucks, I believe, is next Friday.
So you take 10 days? You saying like 10 days-ish?
Yeah, he'd be back. We win in the cup.
That'd be like what? 11? Yeah. I would say we dodged a bullet if that's the case.
But Maddie says, so if we lose against Philadelphia, we guys be concerned. I know she has comprehension issues. Nobody said we aren't concerned. What I said was nobody said, go ahead, Justin. Nobody said we're never losing again without you. Nobody said not concerned. I think by the tenor of this entire show tonight, we've shown we're concerned. What we said was, I'm not throwing in the towel and the whole season's over and we'll never win a game for the rest of the year. That's what I'm saying. Is that, man, we can let's try to motor through this. What you're telling me is, hey, we can't win any game. We'll lose somebody tries 2 of the next 13, whatever it was. I'm just saying, let's get in a fight first. Y'all size up. Y'all type. Remember the AAU, the team called out the bus with the tattoos? Nah. Y'all sitting there like, nah.
You know what they doing?
I don't want them.
They Jeff Teaguing it.
Right. Exactly. Y'all Jeff T. That's 100% Jeff T. Y'all sitting there on the end of the bench. We gonna lose. Calm down.
Maddie and Justin got this ongoing feud.
Charles Posing with a super chat. He says he's mostly upset he risked his computer catching the clap from Stream East because of the cock blacking out his league pass.
What cock he talking about?
Man, Trey, Peacock. Come on, man. Put the right name on there, man. Because yeah.
Hey, regardless what happens Thursday,
you just say that.
We gonna have a great show because my brother Chris King, them Dayton Flyers coming to Milwaukee. So hey, look, it's gonna be a 4-1-4 sweep on Thursday. I'm a double. Chris, I'm gonna send you the receipt. 20 on the Bucks, 20 on the Golden Eagles.
Parlay it.
Let's go. And 30 for Ryan Rollins. How about that?
Throw it on the parlay. The Marquette. Milwaukee dub. Put the parlay on.
I just don't know why you guys would do this to yourself because it happened last time and then Dayton beat them. So
and this Marquette team is not as good as the previous Marquette game. This Marquette team,
that's fine.
Is not as good as and Dayton may not be either. But I just can't put no money on this Marquette team like that right now. Not against Paul Pony yet.
Chase Ross for 30, Ryan Rollins for 30. we gonna retire with the 401k on Thursday. Just put it all on the line. Let's go.
Io says we'll beat the Pistons. He doesn't know about Philly. I don't know why are you so pressed about Philly. Philly's not. I don't think Philly's that good to me. Again, Tyrese Maxey is really good. And VJ Edgecomb's been playing some good ball. They got Paul George back. He's not washed, but he's getting there. Embiid is he gonna play a back-to-back? He's gonna play the front end or the back end. So again, you could very well have had this game without Embiid. And again, I think it's about strengths and weaknesses. Maxey is I think we get hit by bigger guards is what really kills us. Ryan Rollins can I think again, I'd love to see that matchup with him and Max. That's different than him and Donovan Mitchell, or even the guys in Toronto with Barrett and Brandon Ingram and those type of players. Like Max is a legitimate guard. So again, it's not saying he's not gonna have a nice night, but I'd love to see. I think that's a better matchup for us than the bigger those bigger, more elite guards. Tyrese Maxey is not that. So we'll see. All right, let's go ahead.
Today, I just got one thing. So if we go 4-2 in the next 6, like you said, Trey, are they going? Because I seen a lot of y'all Kuzma haters in the chat. Y'all disregarded the apology for it. Chris, you posted that joint a couple times for it. They still ain't signed it, right? So you gonna come back and sign the Trey Crosby apology for him for the 4-2 if it holds true? We just want to know.
Well, 4-2 had a disclaimer that Giannis was gonna play, so I ain't gonna hold.
Man, 4-2. If we go 4-2 over this next game, we lit a fire. And somebody I would be inspired if we go 4-2 over this next game. Like, hey, we still trying to compete out there. And the thing is, and to Maddie's point, if we lose to Philly, are we concerned? I don't think any one loss, but I think we look at trends. You look at effort. You look at if we still keep seeing the same issues and they're not being corrected, and if guys' body language doesn't improve and effort isn't there, at some point, maybe not now, but January, if Giannis is out, I would wonder at some point if this team has checked out. But again, we're far away from that point. And again, we need to. We really, guys, as Bucks fans, we just need to get past Tuesday, right? We got to get past the Giannis announcement of what this injury is and what it means. Pray it's not 3 to 6 months, right? Pray it's not the rest of the season, right? Let's see what happens before we really get too deep in it.
And you want the injury now before the time for Dame's first year where he had it at the end of the year and he couldn't hoop in the playoffs. Let's get it out the way now and come ready.
All right, let's go to Twitter. See what Twitter says. @Sunk345 says the Bucks might be the stupidest team I've ever seen, trickling down from the coaches to the players. Giving away turnovers like that against a good team is not going to win you a basketball game. This team hurts itself like every single night. It's frustrating. @BSD Gazelle says not looking good with Giannis being out, just deflated. @Wisconsin HFC says won't be any worse than the first 6 weeks of last year. Took us until 11/23 to get our 8th win. I bet we go 2-4 or 3-3 to close out November. Hope the Giannis injury isn't longer than those couple of weeks. Battle tonight, but needs to move more. Ball needs to move more. Ajax minutes should now be considered. At Chief_Maka says the bench is so bad we always lose leads when they come in. @AZip70 says Doc is clueless. We have no offensive system without Giannis. Green, Portis, and Anthony are unplayable together. We're so screwed without Giannis, and things are about to get ugly without him. At the Wisconsin kid says, I'm just over Cole Anthony and Portis on the floor together. Kuz, another meh night. We might be cooked if Giannis is out longer in 2 weeks. I don't see how they can play 500 ball. Let's do one more here. @JR Horvath says they don't look good, just not enough talent to compete with the top half of the league. And one more @920 Rep says Giannis and his inability to stay healthy is grounds for offloading him at this point. That's crazy. And then we'll do one more. @Big Stepafo Life says these people are on some sky is falling shit. RELAX. Even if Giannis misses extended time, the East is wide open and the Bucks just need to tread water. Anybody can beat anybody. on any given night. That's Big Stepper, who is positive, giving some positivity there. Anything on any of these before we go to the look around? Before we go to game ball.
That was a lot more mild than what I expected. I thought it was going to be way worse than that.
I think what happens is, again, when Giannis is hurt or injured, it's one of those things where, to your point, like, I think people, you don't live and die with every possession. You kind of expect to lose, and it don't hurt as bad. I think that's kind of that's what I think. A little apathy there from the Twitter folks. All right, let's go game balls. Where are you guys going in a 118-106 loss to Cleveland Cavaliers?
I'll go first. I really want to take mine with me, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to do it to my boy Ryan Rollins. What they call him? They call him in the D. They call him Buffs, right? Is that what they call them joints he wears?
Yeah.
Them Cartier, a.k.a. I can afford my Buffs now. I pay for them. A.k.a. I'm going to get buckets regardless. A.k.a. put this team on my back, and we not going 1-5 NYC, Randy. We going to win more than that. A.k.a. we 3-3 at the worst because we got the Buffs in the game.
All right. Who's next?
I'll just go with Sam Merrill. I thought, again, back to my first point today where talk about our supposed shooters, just missing open shots. Well, obviously Cleveland got a shooter that can actually make open shots, and they look great every time they go in. It's not no lucky makes. It's not no even hitting rim. Like, it's water, straight water. So Sam Merrill, a.k.a. straight water, a.k.a. I look like Justin Bieber, but I hoop like Ray Allen, a.k.a. I be soaking.
Hey, yo.
Did he go to Utah State?
Did he?
Oh, yeah, they be out there. So, hey, that's the thing. Hey, they be
I was talking about making shots.
Man, that's crazy. Chris brought up the soaking. That's the first time that's been brought up on this show, I think, recently. But I'm going to go Ryan Rollins, too. I think Ryan Rollins, again, I like it. Man, Ryan Rollins definitely trying to, again, put the team on his back. And he's really trying to be consistent. I mean, Ryan Rollins has turned the corner, I think, in his career at this point. And it'll be interesting to see what happens when KPJ comes back. Maybe you have lineups with him and KPJ on the floor. I think you may have to try that. But, man, Ryan Rollins definitely gets my game ball tonight and gets an A for effort. Ryan Rollins, a.k.a. he's light-skinned, but he does dark-skinned things, a.k.a. Ryan Rollins about to be out there like turning into Ryan Reynolds, and I'm here for it. A.k.a. 22 shots might become a habit. A.k.a. you ain't talking to me, you talking to them. You talking about this team performance. Ryan Rollins is my game ball tonight.
Good stuff. You know me, you got to win to get in. As always, game ball going to Donovan Mitchell, 37, 7-5, 14-22 from the field, 4 of 8 from 3, 5 of 7 from the free throw line. He was a +7 tonight. For his team, led them every step of the way. So Donovan Mitchell gets my game ball, a.k.a. this 4-5 will hit you, a.k.a. D. Mitch, a.k.a. Spider, a.k.a. they call me Spider, but not what the old folks be riding around in with them 3 wheels, blasting that music outside the gas station.
Slingshot? Is that what that joint's called? Is that the slingshot?
Yeah, that's the same thing.
Slingshot. That's a grown man tricycle, bro. That's a grown man tricycle.
With the LED lights on the bottom, with this damn music blasting that Earth, Wind, and Fire at the gas station.
This the Drewski video got flames on it.
Yeah. All
designed.
That. Yeah, man. I don't think it's be funny, man. Like you scream, I'm single or divorced.
Look at me.
I'm single or divorced, and I'm over 50. Because nobody under 50, and nobody not single, no married man riding in one of them with them lights.
It looked like something from Mario Kart.
Oh man, looking like Bowser. All right. All right. What'd you say? Princess Peach.
I said you out there looking like Princess Peach.
Nah, that's when That's when Moesha get in his Princess Peach, turn to Princess Peach.
Hey man, I'm trying not to go here, but you know when we was talking about, did you ever look up that list when we were talking about when I was like, you know, closing the fridge with your hips and stuff like that? That's off the list. Holding your nose for jumping the pool. That's off the list of like things that men can do that are basically questionable, right?
Holding nose jumping the pool.
Have y'all ever? Hey, that is questionable though, for real though, right? Like, have y'all ever looked at this list though? Like,
no,
like the list.
I didn't know there was a list.
It was a
real look around now.
It was a TikTok thing, and some of the stuff on the list is ridiculous. Like again, the refrigerator thing is hilarious. Hold your nose if you jump in the pool, smiling with your tongue between your teeth. All that stuff is hilarious. But some of this stuff is wild. Like, you know, owning
read the list
or being aggressively pro bidet.
All right. Off the rails.
Hey man, we got jobs. You get a bidet, man. We got jobs. You go ahead and pay for that toilet. Knowing how to fold a fitted sheet is one of them. You're crying during a Pixar movie as an adult. Having a group chat with the fellas that includes heart emojis and pet names.
There ain't no reason you got no heart emojis in the group.
Owning houseplants and naming them. Yeah.
Naming them's crazy. You can own a houseplant. Naming them's crazy.
Going to brunch and actually ordering bottomless mimosas. I don't know about that.
I'd order a bottomless mimosa.
Yeah, I would do that.
Wine cooler tray.
You know.
That's why he want a damn roof on Lambo. Wine cooler tray.
Hey, do need a roof.
Getting a professional pedicure with clear polish. I don't know about that. Owning a Stanley Cup in any color other than black or stainless. Somebody got a red Stanley? Oh man. Having a favorite
Trey, wait, hold on.
diva.
Trey, your pops probably got a purple Stanley, no bull.
I don't know if he owns a Stanley. I ain't gonna lie to you. I don't think he got one.
Some gold accents on it.
I don't think he got a Stanley.
Hey, shout out to them boys though. Happy Founders Day to them junior varsity.
It is Founders Day. It is Founders Day for the Qs. It is. JT,
that list was epic.
Having a separate Instagram account for your dog. You know, some people dog.
There's no reason the man got a separate Instagram account for the dog.
Not yet.
Ain't no reason. There's no reason. There's no reason you got a Finsta for the dog.
Yeah, and no reason. No way you have enough time to do that.
Yeah, there's no reason.
Having a skincare fridge.
Okay, yeah, that's excessive.
Owning a tote bag with a niche slogan like "Reading is fundamental."
What about the
is that one?
Using Hunter Babe with male friends. Yeah, clearly. I mean, that's just two. Having a pop diva as your phone lock screen.
If you got J-Lo on the phone screen.
I don't know about that.
Yeah.
Taylor, that's too much. You still as your phone lock screen. I don't know about that. Calling a vacation, even with the bros.
With the bros? Why would you do that with the bros?
No, there's no issue with that.
Why would you call it a vacation with the bros?
I mean, if you just saying like, "Hey Trey, I'm about to take,"
a vacation.
Wait, what are you saying? Oh, I thought you meant with the. I'm confused.
Not
even with the bros. Even with the bros.
Nah,
I got you one here. Having a favorite Real Housewife.
Okay, yeah, yeah.
Now you gotta have a favorite one.
Okay.
I don't know the names, so I couldn't tell you.
I know Portia, man.
You like Portia?
Come here and talk to be African for the day.
Owning a diffuser with essential oils in the bedroom. See, I don't know about that. I don't know about that. Some folks, you might want to have a diffuser in there. Some folks got excessive gas and all kind of stuff. That might make sense. Having a good lighting corner in your place, especially for selfies. Owning a robe that isn't
this is an extremely long list, JT. We got to move at some point.
Hey,
bro, there was a lot.
I know. I see. There's a lot in this.
No BS. I just hold my breath that I ain't hit none of them joints. I'm about 0.5 because I don't know. I don't
No,
know.
I'm
Push.
trying to find the one that was from TikTok because that was hilarious. That was hilarious. The one from TikTok. That was a different list I was reading now, but the one from TikTok is where I shared some of the greatest hits.
All right, good stuff. Let's keep rolling here. Look around the NBA. 118-106. Cavs beat the Bucks. Bulls are up 123-120 over the Nuggets. Pistons 127-112 over the Pacers. They keep losing. About Jalen Duren, 31-15. That's a good number for him. Let's see. 76 beat the Clippers 110-108. Heat beat the Knicks 115-113. Raptors beat the Hornets tonight. T-Wolves beat the Mavericks. And the Thunder are 14-1 as they continue to win. They beat the Pelicans, who are 2-12. Only other thing, look around. Did want to get to Shedeur Sanders. Thoughts on him starting? Well, it looks like he's going to start this week. He did get in the game yesterday against the Ravens. Didn't go so hot. A lot of talk, a lot of discussion about whether or not he should get first team reps. That was a big point of contention. Where do you stand on Shedeur? And what do you think he's going to look like if he has with a full week of practice under his belt, first time ever getting first team reps out in Cleveland?
So I'm actually against this, and I'm against this for Shedeur because I feel like this is arguably the worst case scenario. Yes, he's got nothing to lose, and he goes out there and he does that, but they haven't given him reps all year. And so you're going to bring him in, give him a week of practice. And from what I've read, it doesn't sound like he's got really got any. Like he's not one of the ones or twos all year this whole time. Now you got Dylan Gabriel out. The Browns stink. The wide receivers, I don't know what they got going on. Yes, he would have an opportunity to make plays, but most likely I think he's going to be running for his life. I think that you just never prepared him for this moment. So throwing him in, what's the Browns record right now?
2 wins.
2 wins.
They are
they're 2-8.
2-8.
They're 2-8. You're throwing him out there. Let me see who they play. Who's he starting against?
They play somebody trash. Don't they play who they play? The Raiders?
Is it the Jets?
Nah.
No, not the Jets. Let me see here.
They play the Raiders. They play the Raiders.
They play the Raiders.
Well,
the Raiders
stink. Might get off.
You say what?
He might get off against the Raiders.
I mean, again, though, I don't like the fact that you're deciding to play him now when you have not given him any. It kind of seems like they've been ignoring him. I mean, I guess he's been around the team, but I guess where I'm going with this, it feels like there's been no investment at all in his success as a player. No investment at all from this team, from the perspective of preparing. I'm just not really sure that he's in a decent situation to do well. He may make plays that may be absolutely disastrous, but I think that, this one game certainly shouldn't be an indictment on how he plays. It certainly shouldn't be a referendum on his skill set and if he can play in this league, because I think the Cleveland Browns are the most dysfunctional franchise in football, and they stink. They're not good. The players are not good. The wide receivers are trash. Maybe Shedeur makes plays, and that's all you can hope for.
Here's my thing. I think that Dylan Gabriel is more so and is proving week in, week out that he's just more of a college quarterback. Like, none of the throws that he's trying to make are impressive. None of them look impressive. None of them really look good. He's not taking deep shots. It's easy to take deep shots when you're beating man coverage and you got faster receivers, right? Well, in the NFL, you got safety over top, and the receivers are not nearly good enough to be, completely wide open for him to hit those long balls. And he's not doing it. And so, the encouraging part about what Shedeur did was the throw that he made to Harold Fannin, which was like a 20-yard gain, 25-yard gain. That's it's a strike right down the middle. He did throw the pick and he didn't play all that well, but at least you see the arm talent there. Like, I'm not sure that I'm seeing that from Dylan Gabriel, and Dylan Gabriel's he looks little out there. So to me, I mean, I said it when the game was happening before Shedeur got put in. I'm like, it's probably time for Shedeur. So I'm going to be excited to see what he can do with the start.
I do agree with you that Gabriel looks a step behind in the entire NFL process. But I agree a lot with JT, though. I feel like he's setting this guy up to fail, not giving him the reps beginning of the year, middle of the year. And I mean, if Gabriel looks like this during the regular season, I got to feel like he looked like this during camp, and he hasn't really progressed much from that, which means Shedeur should have got more playing time. I'll be honest with you, if I lied and say I paid much attention to the Browns. I mean, they're the Indiana Pacers of the NBA, so I hope he does well. I hope he's good. I was just watching Greg Gard win another basketball game tonight, though, for the look around.
The problem with Gabriel, because I agree with you, Chris, and Gabriel coming from that system. So Gabriel played for UCF, Oklahoma, and Oregon in college, right? The problem I have with Dylan Gabriel is you're 100% right, but Chris, he's not making plays. He's getting this opportunity. So the first issue is he's not making plays out there. He's not helping the team. He's not even really kind of a game manager at this point. His numbers are not atrocious. They certainly are not, but I don't really understand outside of pride why, when the decision to trade Flacco was made, why there was not an actual QB competition besides the fact that there was just pride there. We picked Gabriel in the third round. This is going to be our guy. We're going to die on this hill, even though Sanders has potential. And, even though you saw some moments in the preseason that may have said maybe there could be some competition there for the, for that backup quarterback position. But I think Dylan Gabriel, I agree. I mean, Chris, I think you definitely hit it right on the head. But my thing is that if Shedeur plays well, would the Browns swallow that pride and say, you know what? QB competition at this point, or we're going to go with a hot hand, because you can't think Kevin Stefanski and you 2-8. Like, man, that leash is long, but at some point, you're going to have to play the better player at the QB position if wins matter to him and Andrew Berry.
The real problem is Jimmy Haslam don't got that headset like your owner does, so he couldn't get Shedeur in the game.
Jimmy should have been in the headset. He should have been listening. Probably started about a good 10 years ago. Jimmy should have been deep in that headset. Man.
Yeah, I think that
the Browns just need to draft a receiver in the first round, and it has to be somebody that is actually going to be good day in and day out every Sunday, and that's going to create a lot of separation. And they need a number one target. It's interesting. You look at their offense; they're running two tight ends out there. Fannon's a receiver, and Njoku is the tight end. So, like, that automatically sets you up for not many big plays. And they do that as well because they have Judkins, who's a workhorse. But, like, you got to open up the passing game.
What's the deal with Jerry Jeudy? Jerry Jeudy is
but it's not just their wide receivers. It's all their offensive line is terrible as well.
Yeah, that's true.
So, I mean, they have so many problems. But I agree. They are. I think they are setting up Shedeur for failure. It's just tough sledding, and like I said, hopefully he's gonna have to rise up against it. And I think what he's gonna have to do is he's gonna have to make some big plays, push the ball down the field. He's got to eliminate what he does do incorrectly with those long when he holds onto the ball. Again, that's part of it. You just got to but you got to coach him up. You can't take those kinds of sacks where you run around 20 yards. It's just not gonna work. But again, he does have a propensity that you can tell he's a big game quarterback where he's going to push the ball down the field. He's going to try and throw strikes and not be like, check down Charlie, Dylan Gabriel, who's, going to be 8 for 10 for 26 yards because he throw the ball 1 yard in front of his face every other play.
The good news for Shedeur, though, you should have a long leash. It's not like they can pull you if you start stinking it up because Gabriel's out. Whoever, I'm sure they're going to call somebody up from practice squad or whatever to back him up. But he should have a long leash to play the game. So if he does have a couple picks early, they should still give him a chance to play the entire game. And if I'm Shedeur at this point, I'm trying to just put together some decent film. Hopefully somebody steps up. Somebody is willing to step up and whatever pick, 4th, 5th round, whatever. I hope they trade for you in the offseason. You get out of Cleveland.
Yeah, it's gonna be tough. We'll see how that works out. Anything else? Well, what you guys? I don't know if you guys saw my boy Bryce Young go crazy Sunday.
We knew that was going to happen.
What'd you say?
We knew that was going to happen.
Hey, man.
You talking about 8 for 10 for 36 yards or 26? I got confused. Which one are we talking about here? Keep going though.
No, I'm talking about 448. I'm talking about. I think it's the 3rd highest pass yards in this season. Yeah.
Oh, so that makes your other boy. That makes your other boy Cam a fool because he threw for 100 against the Packers and Michael Parsons was worth every dollar. But keep going.
Well, he gonna find a way to beat you one way or the other. But again, you saw McMillan, he over 100 yards. McMillan is like I think McMillan's top 6 in the league receiving yards as well. I don't know. I guess the only question I have there is, have you seen enough from Bryce Young? He's up for a contract. What is he act? I guess that's what I'm thinking about Bryce. I guess my question to you guys, what is he at this stage in his career where he's shown some promise, but he's also has weeks where he's kind of fallen off the rail. What do you make of Bryce and then you can jump in if you want to talk about Packers. What you can get in on their win over Jameis and the Giants too.
At the minimum, I think Bryce Young has earned you pick up his 5th-year option. At the minimum, I think you've seen enough to pick up his 5th-year option. In worst case scenario, next year becomes a make or break year. I think the thing about quarterbacks, what I don't understand is there's some quarterbacks that are ready. There's some that are quote unquote ready. There's some that's not. But everybody in the league talks about we need to develop our guy. We need to develop, and I don't. You threw Bryce is another one. Anthony Richardson's another. I mean, every quarterback from that class you have question marks at this point. We're seeing C.J. Stroud, Anthony Richardson, Bryce. But they talk about quartering and put them in an environment where they can thrive, and you want to support them, and you want to do this. But really, ever does that really happen, right? I personally, should Bryce Young have started on day one? Probably not. You should have probably given him some time to rest. You saw what happened last year when Canales pulled in for a bit, and who was it? Andy Dalton was out there. He let him get out there and stink it up a little bit, but he just kind of saw that reset. But the thing is, Bryce is. You see a lot of Bryce. You see a lot to work with him, and yes, size limitations. The throw to the middle. You talk about all that too, but infrastructure is another thing. And with the way Dowdle's balling, and again, what's that wide receiver for his name? What's that wide receiver that Steve Smith said wasn't going to be good and said he ain't it, and he's come out and shown that he is it, and that Steve Smith's a moron. What's his name?
Ted McMillan.
Ted McMillan, that's right. Ted McMillan, forward, right? You see what Bryce is out there doing and making it happen. And that last week, he put against the Falcons, he put that team on his back. The 400-something yards. But it wasn't just that; it was the throws that the plays that he was making. Hey, man, Bryce got something. I don't know if you commit. What's the going rate for QB? Somewhere between 55 and 64.
Yeah, you can't do that. That's franchise. He's not that yet. You can't.
I don't think you commit that, but I think you can pick up that 5th-year option and give this thing another year. I think he certainly has shown you enough to do that. Unless you want to go right back, unless you got another person in mind, unless you want to trade for what? Kyler. Some man's name, Kyler Murray.
I don't think. Now, I do think that they probably. I think we'll see how the rest of this year goes. You probably do bring in some comp for him. And you give him the 5th year. You probably bring in a vet, a little comp, see how it goes, and then let him know. Hey, but again, it does depend on how the rest of the season goes. You got some tough games coming up. Now, if he performs well the last 6 games of the year, then that's a different story. But if he's up and down, then you bring a vet in and you give him the 5th year, you bring a vet in and you let him know, hey, this is the year, make or break. But man, I like Bryce. I really do hope things work out for him, especially because for me, it's like We've been waiting on the quarterback, and I tell you, I never felt good about any. I didn't like the way they did Cam, and so I this is how I know I'm fully over all of the bad ill will towards Cam Newton, the franchise placed upon him, because when Bryce Young broke his record for passing yards in the Panthers uniform, I couldn't be no more than happy for Bryce and for him being able to do that. So
what was that, 222?
Well, was Cam hating when he broke his record?
No, I'm just saying. I'm talking about from me.
So what I tell you about the game, and you mentioned the Packers as well, and what I saw that amazed me about Bryce and about Love is both of those boys took a lick Sunday.
Love had a great game,
and they went out the ball game. They got the treatment they needed to do, and Bryce was back in the huddle in the next possession and led that team to a win. And led it through everything at him and the kitchen sink, and I thought it was great. I think that it's going to be really an emphasis on your offensive coordinator, your head coach, to put him in a point to succeed, because no shade, you didn't see that the week before or the week before that. You got to put this guy in a position to succeed. You saw Peyton and you saw Carroll do that with quarterbacks that are under 6 feet tall, and that's what the challenge is going to be. But the kid can play. I can't take anything away from him, man.
Well, so speaking of QBs, you could be Atlanta. Now you're really in the pain cave with Atlanta, because you got Michael Penix. Michael Penix is now out for the season with another, what is it, partially torn ACL?
You know, that's 8 years of football,
yep,
college and pros. Penix has been out. He's had a season-ending injury 5 of the 8 years.
And that ACL, he's torn his ACL now 3 times. He's torn his ACL.
He's done.
You're not going to get any more athletic as you get older. You are not going to do this too. And Atlanta's in a rough spot now, because now you got to go back to Kirk Cousins. And so is this a situation where you go back to Kirk Cousins and you're like, you know what, Kirk, you're on the books for $40 million a year or whatever it is. You're still on the books for 2 more years after this. Maybe you just ride that out. But Kirk has not looked great when he's played recently either. I don't know what Atlanta's in a bad spot.
I was surprised. I thought, because I never had a high opinion on Penix. You know, I was a little scared when Kirk came. I'm like, he about to come. You know, the vet come in, just start willing. Kirk was terrible. He was.
And that was against the Dolphins, right? Wasn't Kirk playing the Dolphins? I mean, they stink. Like, they're really bad.
Well, Penix is good. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say that, like, you just got to give credit to Penix for just at least making it this far. Like, the fact that he was at Indiana when they started to turn around a little bit the first time under a different head coach, had to go to Washington after he tore his ACL again, and then he made it this far. I don't know if he'll be back.
And you're right though, and that's what I was gonna say. Funny, I give a lot of credit to Penix. I think he's a phenomenal athlete, but his body just isn't holding up. Reminds me a lot, if we're talking about NBA terms, of Grant Hill or Tracy McGrady, where you see all the athleticism and everything's there. He just physically can't perform it. But, man, Atlanta's in a world of trouble. Panthers trending upward. Hey, Trey, no BS. Y'all don't stub your toe against against the Saints, excuse me. You right in the mix of everything, because I don't think that Baker and those guys in there Tampa are going to last as long as what people think they are, being that unhealthy. So it's prime right for Bryce to lead this team to an NFC South Division title. That's what I hope to see. And at the bare minimum, man, get any boys in the playoffs. Let's get a rematch with my Packers and see if Rico can beat Rico again.
I'll say this. I do think that you should 100% pick up that option and stick with Bryce, because right now your options are Kyler Murray, probably Justin Fields, right? You're not looking at, that's what I'm saying. You're not looking at anybody. I mean, you know, maybe Aaron Rodgers if he still wants to play and he leaves Pittsburgh. That's what I'm saying. Like, your options are not great. And I think at this point, pick up the 5th year option. If he plays it, pick up the 5th year option. See, give him a chance. Give him a chance to play it out. And if he plays well, reward him. But, you know, I mean, even if you swung a trade, yes, you could get a guy. Jameis should be available next year as well. Right? Russell Wilson should be available next year. Do you really want to do that? I mean, I feel like you might as well. Would you want Anthony Richardson? Like, why would you? You know what I mean? Like, why would it just doesn't make sense?
Last question. James Moore says, "What are the Packers' chances of advancing to the NFC Championship game this season?"
I think the sky's the limit right now, man. You got an injured team. The East is still as wide open could be. I didn't see anything for the Philadelphia Eagles the last 2 weeks that showed that they were world beaters. I don't see any
terrible game last night.
They got a major issue. The Philadelphia Eagles got a big problem. I mean, Jalen Hurts seems to have regressed as a passer. It is bad. Did y'all catch that game last night?
Absolutely. And that horrible pass interference at the end of Indy. I do think the Los Angeles Rams look as if you had to have a knights in shining armor. They look like it. But I just don't see any world beaters. So I think there's a shot they could do it. I also think, I can't even believe I'm about to say this, but knock on wood, there's a shot they can miss the entire playoffs.
I don't think
you think there's a shot they can miss the play? Like,
well, there's a chance just because they're probably not going to win the division.
They have 2 losses and a tie.
We a half came behind them bums from Chicago that play football like the Bulls play basketball. We all right.
Well, hey, the Bears out there doing work. It's crazy. It's crazy. The Bears have more points scored against them than they have points scored for them. But they have won 3 in a row.
They definitely the prettiest ugly broad in the room.
You know, I think the 49ers look good. The Seahawks, even the Seahawks. I mean, maybe not last week, but the Seahawks look decent as well. The NFC will be tough, will be competitive. But the thing about this Green Bay team is that they are finding ways to win, even when they're playing awful. They are still finding ways to win, even when they're not playing good games, which is a good thing. That's one way to look at it. Another way to look at it is, well, you're struggling with some really bad teams too. So it remains to be seen. But I think this Green Bay team has a lot of potential, and hopefully he dodged the bullet with Josh Jacobs. Is there an update on that?
They said maybe he'll miss this week and he'll be back next week. I thought J.J. McCarthy looked like the worst quarterback in the division.
Yeah,
Caleb Williams has looked like that too. I just feel like, man, you talk about dudes that get their clear coat on their toenails. He just found a way to do it. He just finds a way to do it. He lives by the paint on his manicure to get another win. He's trash.
But the thing about Caleb Williams, and he was able to do this as a rookie. Caleb Williams can put this team on his back. He can put this team on his back and get you that duck. Now, he can 100% do that too. I'll give him that. Now, that game on Sunday, he technically didn't because it was a big kickoff return. Duvernay had that kickoff return. It was like 60 or 70 or however long that kickoff return was to put them in position to get that field goal. But I credit give him credit to do. Caleb can put this team on his. Something about that fourth quarter with him, that clutch team, it clicks, and he does have it when it comes to that. And you saw it last year with Green Bay, really in both games when they played last year as a rookie. He's a bit erratic at times, but yeah, Caleb, if it's a close game in that fourth quarter, something with him clicks, and he can turn around and get you a dub.
Multitude of misfortunes are going his way. You see, normally he's 30. Hey, man, that dude is the epitome of walking up to a golf shot that's a 7-iron and hitting a 4-iron, 30 yards over the green. That's who he is. Like, and even that BS last year with the Packers on, it took a fictitious roughing the passer penalty where they knocked the nail polish off the bum and knocked the lip gloss off him popping. Like, hey, man, them dudes not good, man. I'm sorry. They're not good. They're not a good football team. They done beat the New York Giants. New York Giants pissed down the side of their legs. Russell came in the game throwing the ball like Sierra. They beat a bunch of bums. They're bums. Their fans are bums. Deneen, your team's a bum. The Chicago Bulls are bum. The Chicago Cubs are bums. You got a goddamn basketball team playing in a hockey arena. Yo, go to hell, Chicago. Enjoy it while you last. You first place week 10. You the prettiest ugly bitch in the room.
All right. We're gonna leave it there. Let's leave it there. Well said, Justin. Let's I love it. We finish with a rant. Bucks lose tonight. They lose at 118-106 to the Cleveland Cavaliers. Just don't have enough to get done, and we wait. We wait anxiously for what happens tomorrow with the MRI and the update and everything of that nature. Deneen calling Justin a hater. But we'll see where things go. Hopefully we get some positive news. Like I said, anything under 3 weeks, I will take as a dub for Giannis being out. Again, we appreciate everybody for watching us, rocking with us tonight, just over 11:30 on the East Coast. Again, it was a rough one, but hit that like button on the way out. Make sure you tell a friend about the Cream City crossover. It's the best Milwaukee Bucks post game in all of the land. Back at it Thursday night after the Bucks beat the Philadelphia 76ers. This has been a Cream City Media Group production of Guru Trigger.
Chris King.
Justin.
Hey, man, if I am enemies only because I dare to tell you the truth, don't take no wood nickels.